Hello everyone, this is Ron again with Strangely Normal, and today I'm taking a quick look at the FPS game Black. This game is basically the very definition of what many would consider to be gun porn, but in video game form. As you're seeing there, it's made by EA and Criterion Games. And one of the big things about this game is how good the guns feel and how fun they are to use. I was playing it some while getting ready to check this out, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't terribly impressed, as we'll be seeing a little bit. The guns certainly do feel alright, but the other things involved with it don't add up. I'm going to skip that intro. The first time I played the game, I actually had to watch all of that intro. The story is this weird sort of rogue military agent thing. I don't want to continue from where I left off. Well, okay. I don't want to continue mission. But yeah, see this menu here, so let's see. Here we go. See, I was on the second mission, which is this something called the Chinesca border crossing. The first mission is this city street thing. We'll start on that because that's the first one. I'll just do it on normal. But and this game was released in 2006, and one of the things it talks about constantly is the guns and all that stuff. And like I said, the guns are alright, but everything else leaves something to be desired. I mean, even for 2006, seems kind of behind the times. So here I am, I've started. And already the controls for this are kind of... Oh yeah, see, I can't open the door. I have to shoot it. Because in this universe, there is no opening of doors. You know what? So there's all those military stuff going on here, and then the action, and then basically I run down and I just... And we'll see shortly here one of my main gripes with it. Wow, that's weird. This pistol's really doing a lot of damage. I'm gonna use this assault rifle. This is an AK-47. I just blew up. But one of the things that was really irking me was... I mean, that guy just took like 4 AK rounds to the face before he died. I mean, it's like they talk about how this is, but like, the actual magazine on this gun is 60 rounds. Most AKs don't come with that, but see, it took like 3 rounds in the back to take that guy down. And I'm not necessarily a gun nut. I don't own any guns. I've never actually fired a real gun, but I like a lot of military history and stuff like that. And I know what guns do to people. And doesn't matter who you are, you can't take just like 4 rounds to the chest like that. I was dead apparently.
Negative 2-9. QRF is en route to reinforce. Rally on their position and do what you can.
And it's weird because this kind of setting just seems so generic now. I guess at the time it wouldn't have been that generic, but even still it comes across as bland. I mean, this would have come out, what, after like Call of Duty 2? Which is a phenomenal game. And there's always guys like hitting you from like 8 different directions at once. Look at this guy. I just unloaded like a good 10 rounds into him before he died. And then another thing is they talk about how like you know, oh look, it has the full select fire that a regular military AK does, and like I initially thought, oh, cool, you know, because they'll be like, oh, it's more accurate, that'll be better. But because the guys take on average about 5 shots to the chest before they go down, it winds up not being that useful. But this game is just, it's all about just guns firing everywhere. I will give this, the bullet effects are neat, and bullets just rip everything up, and that's impressive for PlayStation 2, but...
This is Admiral 7-1, package has broken. We are standing by holding pattern, over.
Copy that, Amber 7-1. Provide overwatch for Echo 5-1. They're moving to rally point Z, over.
And the guys' death animations are all, like, they just seem way too long and overdone. Oh, I got some grenades here. These grenades are, like, pathetic. I'm gonna throw one here. Can't even tell, but, like, it barely goes in front of you. Like I think if this was real life, you threw a grenade that close, you'd probably kill yourself. Oh. You know what? Just to see. Okay, my pistol is more powerful than my assault rifle. Granted, I don't know exactly what kind of pistol this is, depending upon its caliber. I could potentially see that, but... It just seems kind of odd that my pistol is actually more useful. And then this part, like, I actually have a couple guys helping me. Like, in the second mission, there aren't, like, any guys helping me at all. Oh, yeah. And now, of course, I get an RPG. Launch a missile ladder. How's that sound? Although one thing I will give this game is it is just... The action is just incredibly over top. If the enemies weren't unfair to the point of almost being unbalanced, I could see this being a lot of fun, but like a lot of the fun gets drained out because it's like because I take the time to aim up a good shot and then I hit a guy and it's like, oh, I just pumped 5 rounds into him and he's fine. Like, look at that guy. And like, and I'll see if I can get it, because that truck down there, I can blow that up. But like, I've literally had guys who are like right next to these gigantic explosions. It just like barely even phases them. And even though I definitely am, I'm kind of talking down on the game here. It's not terrible. I've certainly played worse FPSs.
5-1, that is a negative. Do not pursue the package. Hold your position and secure the location. Copy?
I imagine this game would probably be a lot more fun, like a lot of other FPSs. Probably on a PC with mouse and keyboard. I can probably imagine myself having a ton of fun with that, just because, And then it's funny because this game doesn't have iron sights. It has, like, this weird zoom thing. You know what? I'm bored. But I will give, you know, I will say these hectic meta situations are actually kind of neat, and it actually does feel really hectic. Oh, I apparently did something there. But the game, it's weird because, like, I'll be playing it, and I don't feel like it's going very fast, but yet things do go really fast, and it's kind of weird just because part of that is because some of these enemies, they take so many rounds to put down, and we'll really be seeing this in the next mission. And I was playing it earlier, there were these enemies who I was literally putting like 5 rounds into their chest, and they were fine. And it wasn't like I was grazing them or getting close, it was square in their chest. And when a game is trying to be some sort of like hardcore military shooter, like if I get the drop on some guys and just plug them like that, they should go down. They shouldn't just like stumble over and get back up. Okay, it's not letting me skip this cutscene here, but basically this guy is being interrogated. A lot of people do like this game just because it is kind of crazy and stuff with how it handles things. What I've seen of it, it's average.
Not Russian, not German, not Chechen.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Interesting. And how do you know that?
He spoke to me.
And what did this American say to you?
I can't remember. RPG hit the building. Everything's blank after that.
Yeah, it's not letting me skip this. To be honest, these little scenes here, they're fully acted. It's not CGI or anything. It's got this weird sort of filter on it.
Yes.
But they're actually kind of neat. They're not terrible, but it's definitely just sort of get you from one level to the next. One thing we're gonna notice in this level particularly, I have the brightness on this game all the way up, and there are a lot of parts where I am having difficulty seeing things because of how dark it is. I don't know if that's just the monitor, the screen I'm playing it on, or not, but it really seems kind of odd. See, so I gotta sneak around here.
This is Bravo 3 radio check, over.
So I've got my silenced
2-1,
pistol
2-1,
here,
do you copy, over?
going through some woods.
2-1, do you read me, over? If you copy, I am proceeding to RV.
So there's this guy.
Bravo 2-1, this is 3, do you copy, over?
Oh, he noticed me. See, that guy just took 5 rounds square in the chest before he died. Like that kills, like any sort of sense of any sort of suspension of disbelief or anything. Just because I'm like, okay, you know, I understand it's a pistol and he may or may not be wearing body armor, but like that closer range. You're like this guy who's just, I swear he just soaked up a good 10 rounds. And that really brings it down for me. What's weird is my pistol appears to kill them faster than my assault rifle. Now that in and of itself isn't necessarily unrealistic. Like I only took 3 shots. I think I got that. I think I got him in the head that time. But even headshots seem a little bit strange sometimes because, sorry guys, I know for a fact I was getting in the head multiple times, and it was just like, oh, it's fine.
This is 3, nothing heard. Proceeding to
What do you mean nothing heard? You're in a gunfight, dude. Now I may be complaining. It may seem like I'm kind of complaining about how this pistol is killing guys faster than the assault rifle. I'm not necessarily complaining about it because there are pistols out there that I know for a fact could certainly drop someone a lot faster than an assault rifle. My problem is when I come up on a guy and I just sit there and put 5 rounds right into him and before he dies, like he just takes multiple rounds square in the chest. See, like that, and it's just, it really slows it down. Like I get into this groove and it's just like I'm placing my shots and I have to literally stop and just keep putting rounds into this guy. Because if I don't, he's not dead. So, I'm going to try and not gripe so much on the game the rest of this here. But one thing I do really like, though, is I do actually like how big the environments are, and these levels are certainly worth it. Especially this one really showcases that there's a lot of open areas, a lot of areas you can sort of hide in, find different ways into areas, and I do really like that. It gives you it lets you try and find a different way. Where did these guys come from? Oh, I don't have to keep pressing. I can just hold it down. That's cool. Oh man, I'm hurting. Now, you're probably thinking, what, I just stood there with a pistol and did that? That's actually not totally unbelievable, especially considering the fact that what most people don't realize is, yes, pistols are short-range weapons, but short range for most guns is usually like anything under 100 yards. 100 yards is 300 feet. That is a pretty... That's 3 football fields. That you can do. And there are a lot of pistols out there. Not even anything spectacular about a pistol that can easily shoot accurately out to 100 yards. So doing that kind of stuff with pistols wouldn't even really be that unheard of. But granted, this also has a typical video game trope of the suppressor makes it completely silent. Which, see, look at this. There's some of these areas that are just so very, very dark. And the movement in this is kind of weird. That might be because I'm on a console. And this area, even though it took me a while, kind of afterwards I wound up kind of liking it because it's kind of just like, it's this base, and this actually feels like at least some sort of real base. Like, all these buildings I can go into, there's stuff in them. The enemies will move between them based on, you know, where I am and what I think a good vantage point might be. Okay. Yeah, my health is up. Of course, we have the usual exploding things, but... And my heart's beating because my health is low. Oh, there's guys up there. Whoa, what's going on? I'm close to death, apparently. Does this have, like, partial regenerating health? Might as well switch us back to full auto here. That's what this game wants. I just want you to just hold down the trigger. And I do like the bullet impact effects. Those are nice, the dust getting kicked up. Oh yeah, I have to get a shotgun to take down that door because... I think a grenade will do it. Yeah, so pouring a good 20 rounds into a door won't knock it over, but one grenade does it. I always like Intel, they're like side objectives, like... Look at that guy, he just stood right next to like a big explosion, and he's like, whoa. And then he's fine afterwards, so... Generally, a lot of the areas I came across really seem like you go and clear it out and then pick up afterwards, which is neat. I did like the overall destruction in that. That was cool, at least what I saw of it. Now, these graphics don't seem the best, even for the time on PS2. Then again, that might be the fact that it's PS2. PS2 always, its graphics were always kind of, I guess, a little bit jaggy, which this game having smooth graphics would probably really make this look a lot better. Okay. And one thing I do like is a lot of the things that people use for cover and whatnot are all destructible, and I don't mean just necessarily like exploding like that. I mean like stuff where like that guy up in the tower by the planks. I shot the planks away and took them out. That stuff, I always like that kind of stuff. And these guys, there's gonna be some guys coming out here. More grenades. Well, there's like some guys came through it earlier, so. And there's no sprinting or anything. So let me see. There's probably something I'm missing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of times you can't progress until all the guys in an area are dead, and you run into a lot of... You'll be in an area, and there'll be one guy left. Like one or two guys left. And until you go and find them, you can't really do anything, and it can be a little bit of a pain. These safe ships to destroy is part of a secondary objective. I was just trying at that door because it showed up with a little red dot, so I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, now the door is open. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can finish this mission, maybe get a little bit farther into it, and then, probably call it. I mean, this game, like I said at the beginning, it is literally... It could literally just be called gun porn, the game, because it's just constant shooting. It's a guy with an RPG down there. Just constant, like... Okay. everything requires tons and tons of shooting to get through. There's an inordinate amount. It's kind of cheesy a little bit, kind of cheesy fun, but overall, consider it kind of average.
Negotiated. Continuing to block house. Figures 2-0 until RV.
Okay, yeah, I think with that, I'm gonna end this episode. This game is alright. It's kind of fun to play for a little bit, but it tended to grate on me a little bit after a while, especially since they talk about how great the guns are, and then the gunplay really didn't feel that spectacular, and just their effects didn't really seem to match up. But anyway, that is this week's episode. Be on the lookout for a couple more. I'm probably going to get started into another full playthrough one of these days here. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see all of you next time.